Well, hello everyone, it's Pete here. Now I thought it'd be good to do a little video to commemorate the fact that I've got 4,000 subscribers on the channel now, which is brilliant. So cheers. It's 11 in the morning, so it's a bit early for alcoholic drinks, so a cup of tea I'll have to do. So first thing today is obviously a very big thank you to everyone who stops by regularly and looks at the videos and leaves me a comment and all that. It's very much appreciated. So the first video I ever put up was August 2012. There wasn't any plan to have a channel or anything. It was just a sort of novelty of having a smartphone and the fact you could sort of upload something to YouTube and other people could look at it. And it was sort of a bit later really that I was watching things like Matteo's RC movies. I thought, oh, I could sort of maybe try and do something like that. So it sort of expanded from there, and I didn't really put a lot of time into it until sort of a few years later when I thought, well, I ought to try and get a video up a week and you know, sort of try and really push it a little bit. Now I'm thinking, well, I'll try and do a video a week, but if I don't, I'm not going to sort of beat myself up about it because there's only so much time in the day. But I do sort of try and stick with that. Going forward, there's no great plans really. I'm just going to do more of the same, and if people are still watching, then I'll still sort of put some videos up, and even if they stop watching, I might still put them up anyway. Like I say, if you are regularly watching the videos, I really do appreciate it. Now, YouTube creators are always saying please like and subscribe and comment, and it's sort of with good reason really, because the YouTube algorithm doesn't really know anything about the video content. All it knows is how people responded to it. So it's whether they clicked on the thing in the first place, and if they watched it, how much of it did they watch, did they press like, did they press subscribe, and did they comment? And that's the only way they can sort of tell whether the content's sort of worth pushing. Obviously you can only subscribe once, but you could like and comment on any video. So if there's a channel that you like, then always give them a like and a comment just to keep YouTube promoting the videos. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the main benefit of doing the YouTube channel really is the contacts you make with other people, because I'll probably still be doing this without YouTube, but I don't think I'd know many or any people who also did it. So it makes it a much more sociable thing, and it's great to sort of share all the hints and tips and just what we're doing. So another fantastic thing about having the channel is that people have actually donated things to me, which has been very kind indeed. So that's been Peter Smith and the RC Elf, who've been more than generous over the years. So cheers to you guys if you're watching. So the other significant thing is it's almost exactly 10 years since a young 45-year-old me discovered that Tamiya was still making kits and also re-releasing the old kits, and I bought that lunchbox kit, and at the time I didn't really know if I was actually going to run it very much, but I just fancied sort of building one to sort of remind myself of the old days. And obviously you know what's happened. I've sort of got very hooked on the hobby, and 10 years later here we are, many kits later, and still completely obsessed with it. So what I thought I'd do with this video is to have a little tour around the hobby ring, because I haven't done one for a while, and there's obviously a few new cars. I've sort of changed things at the other end of the garage a little bit. So and also it prompts me to remember what I'm doing with the cars. There's always sort of videos that I'm planning to do that I never quite have time to do. Actually, it's worth saying that I'm always very impressed by people who have got sort of wives and families, and they still manage to do the hobby and create videos and you know, seem to do an awful lot of stuff. I always sort of struggle for time. We haven't even got kids. I do have to go and be sociable with my wife in the evenings, but I've got the time between finishing work and tea time to do the hobby. But yeah, I'm always sort of behind on projects and videos, which I'll discuss a bit more on the way round. So let's have a little look around and see what I'm up to. Right, where shall we start? Start up here. Okay, so the Blackfoot you can see is back to being a Blackfoot with the Ford body on it. Looks fantastic, doesn't it? And what I've done with this actually is sort of downgraded the motor, put it back to brushed. I'm going to do a video about this eventually, about the fact that I don't think some of these cars really suit brushless, just in terms of their strength and handling. So yeah, I've got more to say about that, but really I think it's one to be enjoyed as it would have been back in the day. So moving on, we've got the DTO2B dual ridge still going strong. Then we've got my DTO2 Blitz that I made. Now this one's been run to death. This was previously the Titan. It's been run and run, really reliable. It's had quite a few little upgrades to it, but now it's very strong. So yeah, that is a favourite little runner, very quick. Yeah, moving on. So we've got the HPI Firestorm. Now this was a very big favourite sort of before
Arrrma came along, and what's happened is that they stopped making this. HPI did come back and start making RC cars again, but they haven't re-released this, and there's a few parts that you can't get. Now this does run, but I sort of worry about running it just because I sort of worry about breaking something that I can't get hold of again. So I'm not sure whether to sell it on as a runner or just enjoy it and run it while it lasts. I have actually got another donor car, so I have got some other spare bits for it, but yeah, it's a real shame they didn't re-release this, because they used to hammer this to death, but I might sort of just use it as a light runner. Very nice car. So moving up to the lunchbox area, this is the sort of Basher lunchbox, brushless motor. It's got the oil shocks, got a Lexan body shell on it for strength, and this one really gets sort of knocked about a bit. Put a sort of upgraded wheelie bar on that one, so there's a few little mods to that. Still obviously a very favourite runner, the lunchbox. It's, you know, the thing that got me back into the hobby in the first place. So I've got my lunchbox pickup truck. Pete Smith did the modification to make this into a pickup truck. Thank you, Pete. So I sort of finished it off. And what's that on the top? Oh, it's a lovely can of IPA. I'll have that later. So moving down, this was originally, I had this shell on the 4x4 GF01. This is one that survived the fire in 2018. I've got a new Jimny shell to build up. It's another one of my projects I haven't quite gotten around to. This is now on the Wild Willy chassis. So the chassis is actually quite new. What it was that the Wild Willy didn't run very well on its own chassis, so that's now on the 4x4, and this works a bit better on this one. This is one that I've downgraded. It was sort of a little bit impossible to drive with a brushless motor. It's just too prone to wheeling. So you might think that I just go brushless with everything, but some things just seem to be a little bit too quick with brushless, or a bit too unmanageable, and this is one of them. So moving on, this is the one that I built after the fire to sort of look the same as the one that I had before the fire. So it's the yellow with the white roof. The white roof came about just because these always land on the roof and they sort of scuff the paint off, so I thought, well, it might as well just be white on the top, and then you won't notice the scuffs. You can see a few battle scars there. So along here, this is the original Fast Attack vehicle that I had from 1984. This is no longer a runner. I don't usually do shelf queens, but this is just a bit too fragile to use now. So that is just decoration. Let's say if I start running out of space here, which I might do, I could sort of pack this one away perhaps, and sort of leave it in the loft. And now the lovely Kyosho Turbo Scorpion. This is a gift from Pete Smith, and what a fantastic gift this was. I'd really recommend this kit if you haven't done it. If you can afford one, you can find one in stock, then treat yourself. Really nice kit, and it runs fantastically well. Yeah, really, really good. Real favourite, this one. Actually, I'll just show you this. We're doing desk-based videos. I've got this swan neck. It's attached to the shelf here. And you can sort of bend this down, attach the GoPro on it, and then you can sort of bend it to wherever you want it. And the advantage of having this attached to the shelf is that you don't get sort of vibration on the desk. If you put a little tripod on the desk, I was finding you get noise from what you're doing sort of transferred through the tripod to the camera, and also you can get a sort of wobble on the camera, whereas this, because it's completely detached from the desk, you don't get the sort of noise and the vibration. So that's been a very useful little tool to have. So we've got this one, which is the Street Rover body, but it's on a TTO2B chassis, because it seemed to fit on that much better than it fitted on the DTO2, which is what Tamiya did, because the back wheels can sort of sit back in the arches there. With the DTO2, the body has to sit way too far back because of the gearbox. The thing about this is I'm so sort of worried about this body that I haven't actually run this. I've run the chassis on its own just to make sure it works, but I sort of do need to run that, but just be a bit careful. I'm just thinking if it rolls over, you know, windscreen, it's going to be toast, isn't it, basically? But yeah, I will get around to running this one. Right, so we've got the holiday buggy here. Now you might have seen a run video of this recently, and something I've done since that run video is to narrow the track of the front wheels, which I really wanted to do before the video, but there was a nice day and an opportunity to go out, so I did go out. But what I want to do on this, there's quite a lot of mods on this, is to sort of go over the things like narrowing the front wheel track, and I've sort of got different shock mounts. I've got a chassis dust cover which is made out of a Sand Viper body shell, and I've got another body that I'm making up which is going to have some strength mods on it. So I do want to do a video about this and all the sort of modifications I've done to it. So I've got general tools and gubbins here, general shelf of stuff and manuals and all that stuff. The computer there, tons of
rubbish on the shelf there. I've started sort of building the kits on this bit. Actually, I was sort of using this corner bit. It's a bit sort of awkward in the corner, so I'm just sort of building stuff here and then moving it out of the way if I want to use the PC, so I can put the kit box here or whatever. So well, yeah, I finally got myself a Tamiya tool set, having built about 30 already. Probably could have done with that a little while ago. Bit steep these for, I don't know what they're, about 28 quid, something like that. You know, for what it is, it's a bit expensive, but given that I sort of build Tamiya kits and I've got some more to build, I thought it'd be worth having the proper screwdrivers. So moving over here up top, we've got various spare body shells. I've got more of these up the other end of the garage now because they were sort of taking up a bit too much space. We've got the DTO3 Racing Fighter there. Now Pete Smith did kindly buy me a new body for this, which I haven't painted up yet. These stickers are like hen's teeth, you can't really get these. So what I'm really behind on generally is sort of body shell projects. It's just getting the things painted. We have actually got some decent weather now, so I could be getting on with it, but there's always many things to do, but eventually I'll get that spare body done. This is the one that got chewed by a dog, so I have put the new wing on that, but yeah, maybe could do with the new body for that. And then we've got the XVO1, which has featured quite a bit on the channel. Lovely car. So I've got a whole new body set for this, which I'm going to do up in the Martini Rally colours. It's one of those projects which I'm sort of putting off, but I really ought to have a go at it at some point and do those stickers. So this one's a TAO1 chassis. This one came with that Ford Escort Cosworth shell. I haven't been running that because I think that shell might be quite rare. I don't know. It's got the whale tail on the back. I don't know. Anyway, so I've got the Subaru on this. I'd say the TAO one's pretty good, but it's nowhere near as good as the XVO one, I don't think. It doesn't seem to sort of pivot around the front wheels so much, but it is a good little runner. It's got a 15 turn brushed in this, so it does work quite well. I have got a video plan for this because it did have the silver can, and then sort of comparing the speed with the 15 turn and just sort of comparing the handling and everything. So I have got a video prepared for that. Just got to sort of edit it together. So that's on the list of videos to do. The MO6 MX5 there, which is featured, and then the MF01X with the Midnight Pumpkin Lexan shell on it. That's a nice little runner. Got the little MO1 Mini, got a couple of different shells for that one. That's the sort of Mini Clubman design. So moving up here, we've got the Mad Monkey. That was a gift from Mr. Smith. That's a really nice runner. It's a shame Ansman stopped making RC cars because handling on that is really nice. I've done very few mods to that, and yeah, really good. We've got the DTO3 Aqua Shot, which has got the HPI Firestorm body shell on. The Aqua Shot body got a little bit battered, so I've got that one on it at the moment. And we've got the MO5 Mazda 2 there. These road cars are a bit underutilised. I keep thinking that I'll get some of the chaps and we'll have little road races with these brushed cars. It hasn't quite happened yet, but hopefully maybe in the summer we'll get round to that. So this TLO on Mercedes is a bit of a speed machine actually. You've got the speed gears in it in a brushless set, and goes over 40 mile an hour. It's really quick. And it is holding together. Nothing major is broken on that one, I don't think. So you can see it's been knocked around quite a bit, and yeah, that is a really fun road car. So I've got my TTO2 Datsun 240Z. Now I have got a whole new body set to do for this in the rally colours like I had before. Again, it's one of those body shells that's quite difficult to do, so will I find time to do it? Well, hopefully eventually, because it does look really good, but you can see this one's been knocked about a bit. This one does get quite a lot of use. It is a very nice little car. So this shelf is kind of odds and sods, and things that I'm painting go up here, and there's sort of some spare bits of kit, a few spare snacks just in case I'm hungry. So yeah, I like to keep that for just general gubbins. And we've got various bits and pieces here, all the wheels and all that in there. Okay, so moving down. Oh yeah, you saw it here first. I don't think I've mentioned this on the channel, but I bought myself this one. This is one that I've always thought was really attractive looking buggy. So when I went to visit Mark Bryan last year, this one sort of really caught my eye. So thought I've got to get myself one of those. So I'm not sure when I'm going to get to build this one, maybe later in the year. So moving down, that's not actually a Blitzer Beetle kit, it's just all my spare bits of Lexan that I use for strengthening the bodies.
And then this one's been on the channel. It's just kind gift from Mr. Smith, and I think this one might be next on the list to build when I'm building a whole kit. So yeah, looking forward to that. Looks great, doesn't it? So this is general paint and gubbins and spares and bits and bobs in those. Yeah, dump truck. Now, this is a little favourite. If you haven't got one of these, very tough little RC car. Yeah, really good. Bit of a favourite. And moving across. Now this is a Wild Willy that I bought, and someone's done a real nice job on that, haven't they, with the camouflage paints. The only trouble with that, the body actually weighs a ton. So it's a little bit difficult to drive that one. This is one that I might sell on at some point. Might make a video on and sort of sell on, because obviously I've built my own one since then. So I've got that one, which is on the GFO1 four-wheel drive chassis, and it does sort of work better on that chassis. So yeah, although I like this one, it might not get that much use. So yeah, if I'm running out of space, that might be one that can go. So moving down, we've got the Hornet. It was good to get this one back in the collection, actually, sort of looking like the one that I lost. So yeah, very happy to have that. I mean, the handling is rubbish, let's face it, but well, it's a classic, isn't it? And I think that this is one where the brushless motor is too much for it, really, if we're honest. But I'll leave it in there until I really need to steal that brushless system and put it in something else. So then we got the FAV re-release, which is the runner. I could do with sort of repainting this. It had stickers on. I didn't build this one. I bought this second hand from Derek, who also didn't build it. And it had stickers on which left sort of marks on the paint, and when I tried to get the glue off, it actually took the paint off. So I've repainted the bonnet, but I need to repaint the rest of it because it is a slightly different shade of green, which I think you can see there. But yeah, very nice runner, this one. And then we got the Subaru Brat, which tends to have its Lexan shell on, because I do sort of run this one and I don't want to damage the hard body. But nice runner, and this is one probably best left on brushed power, to be honest. So then we've got the Sand Scorcher, which I bought second hand. It's sort of unused, and really I need to use this, and what I want to do is to make up a Lexan shell for this one so that I don't damage this, because someone's done a pretty nice job, haven't they, on the hard plastic shell here. And it's also got the nice metal wheels, so what I want to do is sort of make this into a runner and just sort of put the plastic wheels on, the Lexan shell on, and have a bit of fun with that, because like I say, I don't really do shelf queens, but sometimes yeah, these are a bit too nice to run, aren't they? Okay, so moving into the other end of the garage. So basically what this is, it's just a single garage, and the hobby room end is all nicely insulated, and this end is sort of more like a shed, really. So we've got the bikes and the, the tumble dryer, spare stuff. So this is sort of more garagey, but I've put a few RC cars up this end because I was basically running out of space at the other end. So one new thing that I've done, I put this roller door in, and the advantage of that is that the door sort of rolls up into that box at the top there, and it doesn't take any space, because the up and over door used to take up quite a bit of space in here, so I've been able to sort of shelve it up much more than before. And I've got some of the RC cars up here, so it's given me quite a lot more space. So looking up here, what we've got is the Arrrmas, because they're sort of quite big. This is quite a good little thing to do if you want to sort of put quite a few RC cars in a small space. Just get yourself a shelf bracket, some scrap wood. That way you can get quite a few cars in quite a small amount of wall space. So yeah, with the Arrrma cars, these do get absolutely hammered. They don't sort of feature on the videos too much, because I don't want to do videos that are the same as videos I've already done. So these are the ones we tend to just take out and knock about. So I will make some more videos if there's sort of some new things I can do with them. But yeah, these are real favourites, and they're strong. And I think I've said all I wanted to say about them in the videos that I have done. But yeah, really recommended if you want something you can knock around and save your Tamiyas for sort of running more nicely. And then we've got, despite everything I said about Traxxas, I've got my Traxxas Slash Boo Hiss. But this is one that I bought before I sort of knew about Traxxas and their dealings, but I'll probably keep hold of this. It's quite, I've done quite a few mods on this. It's got like a double skin beetle body on it. It's got a brushless motor. So yeah, this is one that I haven't run that much recently. I need to sort of like take this one out and decide if I still like it or not. But yeah, I mean, Traxxas do make good cars. It's just what they're like as a company, isn't it, that makes people not like them. So the Yeti here is an interesting one because I do really like this as a machine, but we haven't really got the places to run this. It's more of a sort of rock crawler, rock racer, although I've got a fast motor in, so I tend to use this sort of like it's a 3S basher, and what I tend to end up doing is breaking it. So yeah, this is one that although I like, I might think about selling. I've probably poured the most amount of money into this car than any of the other ones. Yeah, I've had quite a lot of metal upgrades on this and stuff, but like I say, we haven't really got the spaces to utilise this. You need to sort of run it over rocks and really bumpy ground, which we don't tend to have. But say a nice RC car, but probably a little bit underutilised. General garage gubbins, and then we've got the charging station here, so using the back boxes for actually charging, and then we've got sort of spare capacity in these ammo boxes. Don't actually store them in these bags, it's just for when we go out in the field, so we've got some sort of protection for the batteries. Then we've got very important beer fridge. And then over this side I've done some more of these things just with the sort of shelf brackets and the scrap wood, because these are quite big ones, take up a bit of shelf space, so I've moved them up here. If you haven't had a G601 kit and you like Tamiyas, then I would fully recommend them. So these are brilliant fun. We do the rear steer, I've sort of said all about that in various videos, but yeah, these are really good fun. So the Volvo hauler was a kind gift from the RC Elf, so thank you Mr. Elf if you're watching. I've really enjoyed this one. Now there are actually a couple more kits that the RC Elf has got me. One of them has arrived and one of them hasn't, but I want to show them together because they're kind of related, but I'll leave them a secret until the other one arrives, hopefully in the summer. And got the Mad Van, which I haven't had too much bother with, have run that fairly regularly, and with a few little mods that I did to the body to strengthen it a little bit. Yeah, it's been really reliable, really good little car. So that's probably enough for me waffling on for one video. If you made it this far, then well done. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.